Hey guys, I'm Sam with Scrappy Industries. Welcome back to today's episode where we're going to be putting in a drain here on the farm. This is going to be mostly all 170 work. So I bought this machine last fall, got a good deal on it at an auction. We just finished up installing the Scrappy thumb, and I also bought this 24-inch bucket for. That's the 42-inch bucket that I got with the machine. Probably end up needing both of them. Let's go check out the job. I may be standing in the middle of the road on a blind turn, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. There was an existing drain here with metal corrugated pipe, and you can see how that steel line is just plain gone. This is some of it that was left. You better have your tetanus shot up to date, which reminds me, I could probably use one of those. The pipe rotted away, and basically the dirt from above it kept falling down in, and every time it rains it just washed it out, so we ended up with this giant hole here. So now I walked down and dug out just a little bit last weekend, just kind of poking around, but you can see the pipe's fairly deep there, but it goes up this hill and then it kind of levels out, and it goes back behind the main barn to one of the little sheds. So we got to replace all of this. The plan is just to dig down to the pipe, smash the existing metal pipe down, and put our new plastic pipe on top of it. Now I'll say, that is my uncle's plan. I don't know how that's gonna go, but it's easier than if we dig all this pipe out and have to deal with old rusty steel corrugated pipe. That may be kind of a problem. So I'm curious how this goes. So when we come down here, I want to start right at the road. There's a box here by the side of the road. I've already called 811. One call's come out. We're good on utilities. Nothing comes down this far down the road. I want to basically dig right up to that box. We'll find out where the existing pipe goes in there and just start tracing it back. Now this big hole here kind of presents the problem if you can't get the machine exactly how you want it. So we're going to have to come in kind of over the side here. This is going to end up being a huge hole, I think, right through here. It's not really going to be ditching. It's going to be opening this up any way possible. I'll probably start with the big bucket because we're going to be digging sideways. Just kind of pull this back, get this opened up, and then we can start with the poly line up, and then we'll just be trenching from there on out. Hopefully the rain holds off for us, because it looks like it might be a little dark over there. Right up to the full level on the dipstick. Mighty little 4BT Cummins just purrs like a kitten. There it is. It's pretty far down there. We're at such weird angles here for the machine to work that we're having a little bit of a struggle, even just swinging uphill with that full bucket. See, once I dump it, I could swing. Probably have to keep her sucked in, swing up, and then put it out. Like so. Well, with a little trial and error, we're getting her figured out. I'm trying to basically pull the old pipe out and stick it on this side of the ditch, keep the dirt on that side of the ditch. There is a fair bit of metal from where this was super tangled up down here, so I don't know. I just want to try to eliminate tire punchers and tractors while we're mowing this hill after this is all backfilled, so I'm sure we're going to have plenty of metal to pick out of that dirt, but I'll do the best I can on keeping it out. I want to get that metal out of the ground. We don't want a path for water to keep that dirt collapsing if water were to run through the old pipe. That's the reason we're following the old pipeline out of here. Got a turn here somewhere. So as you can see, I brought the machine back down here by the road, deleted that tree, it was in the way, and just cleaned up our ditch a little bit. I shoveled out where it goes into the box down here and codge cleaned up above the drain. So we should be ready to put our first section of pipe in. We're gonna have a 22 to start up the hill. We'll backfill that, that way we can start pushing the next sections in as we work up the hill. All right, so our first section of pipes down there. The bell goes up the hill, of course. Took old Volvo and grabbed us another few sticks of pipe. I want to see with the old Luberdube here how hard that is to get it stuck in. I'd rather put another piece of pipe in here before doing any backfilling, and I'm gonna have to get some dirt kind of underneath that pipe to support it. Then we can backfill these two, and then it'll be easy to use the machine to push the pipe together up here. Boy, Matt, if only we would have bought the 583 and the 572 side booms. Oh, too far. I feel like this is like the equivalent of tire mounting compound. If I could pick this up with the hoe and then beat on that top side. We're not quite far enough in, I don't think. Might be as good as it gets. It's about 5 to 5.5 inches in there, which would mean it's somewhere on that rib. Oh, that's all of it. Get her backfilled. Let's clean this up a little bit for the pipe to sit on. Good enough. Scott's going to keep digging with the 170. We're probably going to break in somewhere here and head that way, because this was here before the grain bins, which are no longer here, but their concrete pad is still here. I got the mighty TD15 fired up, and I'm gonna backfill all the stuff down here on this slope. we're back out here on day 2 of ditching. Last night I made it from over here to where the machine's sitting now, and it was dark, and that's why I didn't do much filming, because there wasn't much to see. I quickly backfilled all this with the Volvo because it has lights, and the TD15 doesn't, and we didn't tear up the grass. So Scott's going to keep ditching over here, headed behind that shed. We really only have probably 4 more sections of pipe to put in, no big deal. And then now that it's daylight, we can work on smoothing this stuff up down here a little bit better. Check your oil. Master switch, a little bit of throttle. Take the much. Put the forks on and move a little pipe over there before we're stuck. Oh, the old one-handed hookup. Get her. This is our lock. Lean her all the way back. Give her a little check-see. We good. The screen makes you acknowledge that you checked it so it doesn't keep yelling at you. Move some pipe. You can see where that old pipe, we were kind of right on top of it here in the ditch, but Scott was trying to just kind of parallel it just so we don't have to deal with it and all this scrap metal coming out of the hole. Don't have too much farther to go now at this point. We'll lube up this pipe and slip this joint together. A lube package. In. Well, we just brought the 966 home this past week, but let's see what she's got. One thing I learned last night is the Volvo is essentially a bulldozer in first gear. And I'm sure the 966 is as well. Its forward and reverse is giving me a little bit of trouble. I haven't really worked on that thing at all yet since we drug her home, but maybe we'll give her a little bit of backfill duty today. The last piece of the puzzle, we have this end wall here. That's going to be our inlet back there. Let's grab the hoe and unload it. You know me, always safety first, safety conscious. I think we got the right rigging for this job even. Get her hooked up. So, Codge, what keeps any small children from going on a water slide from here down over the hill?
They'll be moving when they get down the hill.
Lane said he wanted a ride. It's going to be real painful when you shoot the gap to that other pipe there and go under the road.
How did you get this tight?
Did I tighten it with these? I might have. You're doing a wonderful job, Codgy boy. Okay, maybe it just got stuck on it. That's why you're supposed to back it off an eighth of a turn there, rigger. It's actually not correct rigging though, I've heard, even though everyone does it.
And this chain right here.
Oh, that's rated for a lot. That's like grade 100. You can lift 7,400 pounds with double. I think we're all right. Codge is gonna run down and get the 42-inch digging bucket. It's down there yet from when we switched to our 24-inch digging bucket. Can't be wasting any production on a job like this, digging with too small a bucket. But we're not a shovel. It could be a shovel. got her cleaned up well enough anyhow. Thought you're gonna give us a little shot of gravel. Maybe. Get that slicked in there real quick. Trying to do is we're digging the hole a foot lower than where the pipe sits. That'll give us a little base of gravel here underneath of that end wall. As you can see, it's about 5 inches lower than where the pipe is, though, is where we need to end up here. So from this distance here where the pipe sits down to where the end wall sits has to be about 5 inches. Scooch that. Need to give this thing a 4 shot of grease here. Normally I grease it once a fuel tank, and well, that's about a fuel tank. And she's wanting grease. It's like the grinder of excavation to make up for all your shortcomings, really. We're just looking at should this thing lean back at all so the water that gets in there can make it to the pipe. But it's relatively flat. I feel like it's going to be quite the hole. Like it's just going to fall down to that concrete slab where you're standing, which is fine, I guess. You grade this all out here. Yeah, I mean, really, probably not a lot of that dirt needs to go back in other than behind it.
Lean it like that.
Oh, it's leaning a lot back then. I mean, that's probably a good thing. Especially the dirt kind of pushing on it.
What do we do? Put the pipe in? Where's that pipe come to?
I mean, the pipe might work out about perfect at this point. We thought we were going to have to cut that pipe, but I don't know that we are now. Like a hot dog down a hallway.
Does it say 12 on the back?
The bell will go in. It does say 12, but
Maybe it's 12-inch concrete.
that's what you tell her is 12. We're liking this location as far as grading this out goes after the fact, but we do need to get it leaned back a fuzz, but it's good enough to measure the pipe and cut the pipe. Right, K-Dodge?
How much pipe has to be cut? Right there.
We didn't get that far yet. We're waiting on you to hold the dummy end. I think we dug the hole further back than we originally thought. Yeah, Matt said no go on chainsaw. I wasn't a huge fan of the quickie saw.
Holy cow, starting on the second one.
I started it earlier. Not seeing the issue, Lloyd. Beauty, Clark.
So this is the tool you want.
I think that's way better than the quickie saw. with a masonry saw blade, as I would kind of expect. Raise it down. So today, Kodge, my uncle, he parged in the end here where the pipe meets the end wall. Just mixed up a little bit of Quickcrete. I just chucked a block under there and kicked up some stone in order to support that pipe there a little bit. He also filled this side up with Quickcrete. Once we have this all tapered down in here, there shouldn't be anywhere the water can sit. We have this lean back just a fuzz, so as the water enters that concrete, it's going to go into the pipe. Might want to just kind of hammer off this little bit of a lip from them pouring that. See my super fancy block support package. I'll put a little bit of dirt here and jam that underneath the pipe. Make sure it's relatively supported. It's going to settle some, I'm sure. Get this backfilled. I'm not sure how far we're going to get tonight. It's getting dark on me quick. And then we're going to have to just sort of taper this out. This will be dirt up here, obviously, but then tapered down. Roll this out nice. And make sure the water flows down in here. Let's fire up the Kobelco and do a little backfilling. Well, I pretty much got it roughed in the dark with the 170. Kodge came back with the skid loader today and got her all dressed up. I'm sure a lot of this is gonna settle, but basically we have a pile of dirt left over there, and after a couple rains and a little time, we'll just fill her back in, no big deal. I'm happy with how it all turned out. The only other little thing I may want to do is the shed actually sits a little lower than this, so we may end up cutting in kind of like a little swale and get the water over here to this drain, but it wasn't ever like that before either. But at least now we won't have random holes opening up in the field from the collapsed steel pipe. So thank you guys for following along. I know this one was a little different than normal, but we got to play with some equipment, run some hose, something a little different you don't do every day. Hope you enjoyed the ride. I'm Sam with Scrappy Industries. Thanks for watching.